Now, in the past week, there's been a significant turning of the tide in this senseless war in Ukraine. The Ukrainians have launched a number of devastating attacks on the Russian Black Sea Fleet in Crimea. Several drone attacks have hit air bases, enemy jets, harbour ports, and now the Russian fleet itself. Meanwhile, Ukraine's president has welcomed a deal allowing UN inspectors to visit the Russian-held Zaporizhia nuclear plant. It's hoped that the plant will no longer become a target, which, of course, the Russians are only too happy to use. Joining me now live from Kiev is Ukraine MP Inna Sovsun. Inna, thank you very much for your time. It's good to see you again. It's day 179 of this senseless invasion, and your country is putting up a devastating counter-attack in Crimea. Why is this part of the region so important to Ukraine?
Well, I believe for two reasons. Reason number one, strategically, Crimea, a Ukrainian territory which was annexed illegally in 2014, was used as the base for further invasion into southern Ukraine. That is where they were holding their airplanes, their fighter jets. That is the road through which their tanks entered the south of Ukraine. So militarily speaking, that is actually important to take control over Crimea, just because to make Russians not use it as a base for further invasion into other parts of Ukraine. But also it's important symbolically. And I think that is no less important, truth be told, because Russians have been claiming that they are invincible in Crimea, that nothing can reach to Crimea. But actually now they do have to withdraw some of their troops in order to protect Crimea, no matter what that means in that sense. So I think that symbolically, that is a big blow to the Russian, this image of them being super strong and invincible, particularly in Crimea. Yeah. So those two reasons make it very important what is happening in Crimea last week.
And are international weapons assisting in that particular fight? When you hear about armed drones, it's not the kind of thing you'd expect the Ukraine to possess.
Well, as you know, we do not confirm nor deny what has been happening in Crimea and to what extent Ukrainian army has been involved. And of course, we do not know for sure the details, whether that was some people inside Crimea who put the bomb into the place and blew it over, or was it a drone? That is yet to be decided, and I don't think we have a full scope of information so far. At least our military authorities are not saying details, and I can see why they're not given the details. But the Western weapon altogether, not in these specific attacks in Crimea, but overall in the past couple of months, have indeed started to make change, because we are definitely using the Western weapon to destroy the weapons and ammunition depots of the Russians in the occupied territories. Well, are we using that for Crimea? I wouldn't know, but I'm sure that the Western weapon we have is actually helping to make the difference now anyways, including the weapons that we have received from Australia, of course.
Now, the Russians have also allowed UN officials to inspect the Zaporizhia nuclear plant, but you still can't trust what they might do there, surely.
Indeed, and the situation in Zaporizhia is extremely dangerous and tense. Over this weekend, we are hearing news that they are not allowing some of the Ukrainian workers to go to work. Instead, they brought in the workers from the Russian nuclear power plants to substitute for them. So we cannot know what exactly they will do. They are definitely trying to launch a false flag attack in Zaporizhia one way or another. And if they try to do that, that would blow, that would be a danger and threat, not just to Ukrainian territory, but to the whole wider region. Yeah. So I really hope we wouldn't go for that. But, we cannot predict what Russians will or will not do.
Something interesting happened during the week that I wanted to ask you about. This week, Ukrainian lawmakers established a cross-parliamentary group to promote closer ties with Taiwan. You've got representatives on that group from your party. What's the aim of reaching out to Taiwan?
Well, I'm one of the representatives, and I'm one of those who have been in favor of closer contacts with Taiwan. And I think there are two reasons for that. First of all, I believe both Ukraine and Taiwan are actually on the same side of history. We are both fighting for democracy against very authoritarian regime. So we are trying to protect the values that are common to all of us. And of course, Ukraine's position regarding Taiwan has been very cautious. But the creation of this group has been a part of the new developments, I believe, in the Ukraine's foreign policy. We did coordinate with the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, so on some level to make sure we're not doing damage to the Ukraine international scene. And the goal here is just to show that we're on the same side of history and to appreciate what Taiwanese government has been doing in terms of sanctions to the Russian government. And they have been altogether very supportive. And truth be told, some of their sanctions have been very critical, like their sanctions on selling of the semiconductors to Russia, of microchips. That has really made a change. And we wanted to appreciate that and to thank Taiwanese friends for that.
You've got a hell of a lot in common, all right. Now, you've got your Independence Day this coming Wednesday. The President is warning Ukrainians to be vigilant, but it is a reminder of what you're all fighting for, isn't it?
Indeed, and we all are slightly nervous in the wake of the Independence Day. Just yesterday evening, I went to the pharmacy shop, and the pharmacist who knows me, she said, like, so how much should we be concerned about the Independence Day? Because this crazy guy can do whatever. So there is indeed an increased, understanding that things might happen on the Independence Day, and we hope that they won't. But I think that this year, 99% of the Ukrainians understand why independence has been so important to us. And even if there were some old-style sentiments for closer ties with Russia, they have all been gone on February 24th. And now we are in our war for independence altogether.
All the very best, especially for Wednesday. Thank you, Inna. Great to have you on the program once again.
Thank you.